Welcome to the Learning Curve of Life podcast. I'm Dana Stovern, author and your host, and I'll be sharing candid insights about conscious living that I've gleaned from over 20 years of my spiritual path and work as a body-based intuitive life coach and money coach. This podcast is the platform to share my offerings of my written word in voice form to inspire and awaken you, entertain and encourage you, provide hope, and a deeper view into more meaningful living. Thanks for being here and enjoy the words. Let go of the garbage. October 3rd, 2022, from around the back time of July 2022, and written as I was leaving Selah, Washington, headed into the Yakima River Valley in Washington. I used to live in a beautiful brand new townhome overlooking the Selah, Washington River Valley. There were sweeping blue skies with regular angel-wing clouds in our vista. Ridges embraced both sides of the valley like mountains. The Yakima River easily grooved below. It was pretty much a dream spot. As long as I could overlook the barrage of construction, incessant village traffic, socially unintelligent text messages from the property management company, and the commercial-sized garbage dumpster beside my unit. Today, the story is about the garbage dumpster because me and that dumpster had a relationship, air quotes. The way this relationship went is that at first it was fine. The dumpster minded its own business because the weather was cool and the tenant numbers were low. The once-a-week garbage service kept up with the village garbage dumpster needs. But then our relationship changed. The weather warmed up and more people moved in as units were completed on the property. And one day, as I came out of my townhome door, I found myself living next to the Leaning Tower of Pisa of garbage. The thing was overflowing and stacked to the hilt with village garbage, and it was beginning to smell. I was horrified at the lack of recycling that was unavailable because Eastern Washington is a little bit like living in the dark ages concerning recycling, and the lack of consciousness with this garbage dumpster in how people literally dumped and walked away. Now, the codependent caretaking Virgo in me went just about bananas. Just about being the operative phrase here because something inside me said, Wait, just a moment, girlfriend. Don't you be diving into that dumpster heap. We know you want to, but don't do it. Instead of taking the dive, I literally stood with my feet firmly planted in front of that garbage dumpster for a good 10 to 15 minutes, trying to make sense of what I was looking at, what it was triggering inside of me, what I wanted to do, and knowing for some reason that that was probably not a good idea. I fought every urge I had to take care of that garbage. I fought every urge to make phone calls, to pick up the fringe litter, and even organize the garbage. I fought every urge to be the good Samaritan that would become the heavy, resent-filled tenant I knew I would become if I touched an ounce of that garbage. Every fiber in me wanted to do that heavy lift. But no. Something else was telling me, you go down that rabbit hole, girlfriend, you are not coming out. That is not your heaping, stinking pile of garbage to take care of. And so, I allowed myself photos of the garbage and one text to the property management company asking about how they were going to handle the issue. And I walked away. Yes, I walked away. Folks, I cannot tell you the earthquake that happened inside of me that early summer morning when I did that. It felt like a cage I'd been living inside exploded and the windows shattered, and the far corners of the universe felt the ripple effect of me not carrying other people's garbage uphill. Of interest, what happened next? Lo! Over the next 24 hours, the dumpster was emptied and the extra garbage that got litter dragged into the street by the dumpster truck was cleaned up by workers that management sent in to take care of business. When I looked out my window and saw it had all been cleaned up without me lifting a finger, save for the fingers I used to text, I felt a deep sense of satisfaction that I had been baptized by the lords of leaving that garbage dumpster to someone else. And I'd love to tell you that the story ends here, and I stayed in the waters of, "You are healed from the garbage dumpster, my child." But it didn't work that way. It never works out that way with the universe because old habits die hard, and the universe keeps asking, "Is this what you want? Is this what you want? Is this what you really want?" For the next few months, I continued to live out some pattern version of what I just described to you, minus any contact with the property management company. I realized that garbage dumpster was my kryptonite, and the more I could stay present living beside its varying versions of the Leaning Tower of Pisa and litter in the streets and not touch it at all, the closer I was to breaking an entrenched emotional pattern of my entire life. Codependently caretaking other people's emotions for my own survival. That's right, my mother trained me uber well in that department for me to survive on this planet. I had to make sure I was taking care of her emotional life so the two of us could survive. I learned all about this before I could speak or walk. It's a pre-memory thing compounded by being a female, growing up in a Judeo-Christian culture compounded by social commandments of guilt, blame, and shame. Many of you women listening to this and reading this have your own versions of what I just described. Mine is compounded by trauma and fear of being killed. So not touching that garbage was a huge breakthrough for me. From garbage and death, death and garbage, yitch, what nasty, nasty stuff. As the garbage dumpster pulsed in its own cycles that summer right beside my unit, I diligently worked my codependent caretaking Al-Anon recovery program by staying present, breathing, just being with myself, being aware of the situation, and not touching a stitch of that garbage. As I did this, it became clear to me that I was very consciously in the act of walking away from toxic dumpster heaps of relationships. And then I moved to the countryside with space, gloriously moving away from that Leaning Tower of Pisa of a dumpster. As I found my new space in my new home, I felt excellent about my emotional recovery efforts from caretaking garbage. Some part of me knew that I'd drawn a significant line in the sand, and I'm much more aware of seeing the floating garbage dumpsters lit on fire floating down the river to me, and I am just letting them float on by. Except in those first few weeks of living in my new space, the universe sent me one more test, one more option. My new landlord did me the solid by mowing my lawn one more time before I took over lawn duties. And he filled a great big old black garbage bag with lawn trimming refuse. And lo, he dropped that bag right at the end of my driveway, nearly in the street, and did not say a word. For an entire week, I looked at that bag out my picture window. I wanted to ask him about it. I wanted to move that bag and put it in my own dumpster. I worried about that bag melting into the tarmac in triple-digit heat, leaving even more of a mess. I even wanted to pester that bag and take care of it. But what did I learn? Do not touch the garbage. So no, girlfriend, don't lift a finger, let it be, don't touch that garbage bag, take a breath and give the universe an opportunity to take care of it for you. And lo, on that Friday morning, the Yakima Waste Management Services truck blew through and I watched, laughing out loud, as the garbage management services man picked up the heavy bag and threw it into the back of his truck. Easy peasy, no mess, gone. I don't think I've ever been so tickled pink in my whole life letting go of other people's garbage. You've just listened to an Along the Learning Curve of Life piece with Dana Stovern. Be sure to subscribe to this podcast and also sign up for my newest written releases at www.danastovern.com or stay abreast of the current work on my Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter channels. And remember, stay curious, stay aware, and let the universe be your tour guide.